tonight it's gonna be a different video. There's not gonna be an accent, it's just gonna be normal talking. But we have a fan here, and it's gonna turn it on and make a robot voice, and possibly stick things inside here as well. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what it's gonna sound like really, but it's something that, I mean, I think a lot of people did it, but like growing up having a fan and then just speaking into the fan, it just vibrates like a robot. But anyways, I'm just going to like turn it on, so I'll just kind of fiddle with the buttons. Oops. Oh, I don't actually want that. I want that to move. But anyways, maybe I put together this fan. This was from Walmart. Although one of the clips up here is not on, so it's possible that it could come off. But nothing would happen if that even happened, so anyways, let's just kind of turn it on. Oops. Alright, let's just try it. I don't think that's too loud. Robot. Low, 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 low. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I smell something very warm. It smells like a hot glue gun is on, but it's not. I think it's just the smell of the motor going on, on. But anyways, so let me see if I can find something that I can stick. Maybe make some sounds. I have some felt, but no, don't worry, it's not gonna do anything like crazy. Didn't really have much planned with this video besides talking into this fan and making the vibrating sounds. But I guess I do have a lot of aftershave. I'm going to shake around. So try to tap on it. So I'm kind of thinking about that movie called Robots. It was made in 2006. I think it was 2006, but it was a really good movie. Used to have it for DVD, but I don't know what happened to it. We still do have DVD. Actually, we still have some VHS tapes at our dad's house. So be interesting to go through those and like open them up and stuff. There's definitely nostalgia. There should be a good amount of them left over. They weren't all thrown out. Sometimes you can go to the Goodwill and or thrift store and find VHS tapes and stuff. Anyways, so this right here is a bottle, and it's an ice bottle. So what I was thinking of doing was cutting like a section of this off to put on a fish, and it's gonna be a barrel-eye fish that has like this kind of film on. It has like this film covering over its eyes, like an astronaut. Getting some like some fluorescent color and painting it on the eyes, because it's like I don't know, it just has that inside of its like gluing this on somehow, maybe. That's an idea. I don't know when that's gonna be. Everything's kind of a bit random for the most part. Some things are just, so most of it is on a whim in a way. So I've got some glue sticks here. Quite a few of them. Also got 2 hot glue guns that are stuck to the table. Well, not this one actually. This one's okay. This one's fine. We could turn this up to see how more vibrating it is. Also, if I sound kind of like robotic, besides this, like I would just sound like not comfortable talking. Well, that's just because I find it kind of awkward. Well, I don't know. I always have an accent, so I find it very strange talking. This is not, I don't normally talk this slow. But for the video, it's going to be like this. So, anyways, maybe I can use this. Let's draw a round thing. It's a drawing erase, so it's not going to do too much. Alright, so we're going to go a little bit faster. And number 2, it's on number 1 right now, so I don't know if that's going to... There's much difference there. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to think of something to say we're talking about. So the reason I do put on the accent is because it's more fun to have an accent. Like it's like a vocal, like what's that word called? A stem, I guess. I don't know. Where it's like it just feels great. I don't know. It feels like nice, especially telling a story. It's having an accent. So, and the accent is just a mixture of all kinds of like British, Australian. It's not really I'm not going for a specific. Maybe it's more supposed to sound Australian, but I don't know. It's really anything. But it's hard doing it like speaking normally right now in an accent. because, I don't know, I mess up my words and it starts sounding more American sounding. So I just figured I'd just do my normal accent for this video. So, but anyways, I think I can take this receipt and stick it, crinkle it or something. Try to stick it. It's kind of working. Maybe I can try adjusting the camera. Oh, sometimes it makes nice sounds with the adjusting. Let's see, maybe sing a song or something. I mean, maybe not. So, what's the song? Yeah. I'll just try to drawing this front part. It's kind of interesting seeing looking inside here and seeing the thing spinning around. Beep, beep, beep. I put this together. It was pretty easy. Came out pretty nice. Definitely is nice to have a fan when you sleep. So, but anyways, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hums, and yeah, maybe I'll try to tell a story. Once upon a time, there was a tiny little cardinal named Oliver. Now Oliver was born in a nest far up in a camphor tree, and he was born with 2 brothers and sisters. And the eggs that he was born in were blue. Now Oliver really liked watching the other birds fly in the sky. But the thing is, he was born with abnormally tiny wings, so it, he tried many times to jump out the tree, and every time he would splat right on the ground. Although he was fine, he was, his bones are quite light and airy, so no snapping happened, just a lot of defeat, basically. So Oliver, he's upset. He wants to jump off out of the tree and fly like all the other birds, but he keeps on failing. So one day, he sees a toad hopping around at the bottom of the tree, and he, peeps to the toad. Hello, Mr. Toad. Hi, my name's Oliver. I'm the Cardinal, and I saw you hopping down there. Those are really nice hops you can do. I wish I could fly. And Mr. Toad, he looked up, he wriggled it, and he hopped away. And basically, Oliver got ignored. But at the same time, Mr. Toad turned around and was like, hey, I have this magic potion down here, but you'd have to jump down to get it. So Oliver, he was like, well, what can I lose? So he jumped down and he splattered right on the ground, like He didn't break anything. The toad gave him the potion, and Oliver drank it. And basically, Oliver grew something, but it wasn't wings. He grew a set of antennas. What is that? Huge antennas grew out of his head. And he was like, these aren't wings. What am I supposed to use these for? And Toad said, I don't know. I didn't know what would come out of it. I just had a potion, and you looked like you were willing to try something. Those abnormally tiny wings. So, Oliver now had a set of antennas on his head. And, well, I mean, he was trying to find ways to use them. Maybe they would help with flying. So he would go and run and jump off again and splat on the ground, and the antennas didn't do anything. And you're probably wondering, how did Oliver get back up on the tree if he doesn't have suitable enough wings to fly? Well, the thing is, Oliver is really good at climbing because his feet are very grippy. And basically, that's what he did. He gripped his way up the tree. And, well, so he tried once more to jump off the tree, basically. And he sensed something. Something from his antennas did something. I think they started buzzing. He could feel it. He was sensing some type of radio wave or some type of frequency. He went over to the right a little bit and, well, he felt it even stronger. So, sorry, this was tickling me. Oops. He went to the right a little bit and he felt the ultrasound, whatever it was, vibrating his antennas. And, well, basically, he kept on listening. He started hearing things, and it didn't sound like animals. It sounded like something else. And then suddenly, his antennas went, and they stuck up straight in the air. And suddenly, this metallic flying saucer came down, and a green light came out of the bottom of the saucer and shone all over Oliver and picked him up, basically. And, he was squirming around, and his little wings were trying, but they just weren't working. The antennas, they were vibrating like crazy. And, well, basically, a tiny little window appeared inside of the saucer, and there were two little heads that appeared, and they were bird heads. They weren't aliens like we were thinking, and they were blue jays, not cardinals. And suddenly you hear a speakerphone go off and say, "Hello, we are from planet Pine Ridge. Hello, we are from Canada. Hello. We come bringing gifts and bacon." But these Blue Jays, they were Canadian. They were definitely Canadian. Because you know how the bat symbol, when you need Batman and you shine the symbol up in the sky? Well, their back tail light was the Canadian flag maple leaf, which they're definitely Canadian. So, but anyways, so then Oliver was like, "Well, I drank this potion and it gave me these antennas, and it sensed you guys coming." And the Blue Jays were looking at each other like, "Huh? Okay, interesting." So, well, they said, they kind of thought a little bit. They're like, "Wait a minute, those antennas we could use for our next voyage." So they told Oliver that they had something for him so he could fly. And he got really excited. And, so a green light comes down and it actually grabs Oliver, picks him up, and brings him inside the ship. And there he's met by two blue jays, which are kind of stubby looking. They're kind of cute and stubby. Kind of chunky too, but stubby, round. They didn't have very big wings either. And they didn't really need them though. They had a flying saucer basically. And Oliver noticed that the walls were sticky and smelled like maple syrup. Which, they're Canadians. I guess it makes sense. And they were unbelievably very kind as well. But except for the small stubby one, he was kind of worried. But anyways, the smaller stubby one brought Oliver to a room and said, hold on here, I'm gonna get you something. So the small stubby blue jay came back, and keep in mind his feet were tiny. Like, I don't think he even had claws. They were just like three little prawn toes basically on both feet. And I guess he didn't really need that since he's in a spaceship basically. But he came back, and he was also wearing a hat, which is kind of funny. He didn't really need it. He was constantly being shaded by the saucer. But I guess that was just something that he had. Well, he came back and he had this little pill thing, and he told Oliver to take it, so Oliver took it. And then Oliver fell asleep. And then when he woke up, there was something attached to his back. And, well, let's just say it was sewed to his back, so, I mean, it kind of hurt. Not too much, though, But he basically got these giant Pegasus wings, and they were huge. They were the size of a buzzard's wings. If you want to think of a cardinal, they're about like wingspan this much. Vulture's wingspan is like this much. You can't really see it, but basically, and they were white too. Pegasus, basically. The little bird said that it was from a Pegasus in another dimension. They had the Pegasus had wanted a fishtail, so they had sewn him on a fishtail, and in return Pegasus gave his wings. So, and Oliver noticed that his antennas were gone, and they actually took the antennas, and so yeah, Oliver got a nice pair of Pegasus wings, and the two little blue jays got his antennas. And well, the funny thing is, when Oliver went outside of the room that he was in, he saw a bird bath, and both the blue jays were in the bird bath playing with the antennas like pool noodles. He thought, well, the scene was kind of cute at the same time, because they're kind of two little chunky little blue jays, and one has a hat on, and the other one has a belt, which they don't really need that, but, and they're just playing around, and he kind of went like, oh, it's kind of adorable. But anyways, they opened the door and they said he can go if he wants. So he went out to the door, and then he jumped, and with a beautiful swoop and a flappity flap, he was flying and soaring all across the sky. And wow, that was it. And well, if you're wondering what happened to his actual wings, well, he doesn't have them anymore. I actually don't know what happened to them, but he doesn't need them because the Pegasus wings have become his own. So I don't know, that's something I need to talk to the blue jays about. Like, what did you do with his other wings, You took the antennas, but what did you do with the wings? The little ones. Pretty sure they were stuck inside of the Pegasus wings. So I'm pretty sure that's how they're able to move. Anyways, so yeah, Oliver lived happily ever after until he got hunted and taxidermied. No, that didn't happen. That was just a scary thing that Oliver tells his children, so they don't go jumping off of camphor trees at nighttime, because hunters are around, but they don't really mess with cardinals. So I think. So, anyways, I would say that's going to be it for this video with the fan. I hope you liked this video. And it was something different, and it's just an experiment, really. So, anyways, have a good day, good night, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.